solidifying their status among the local elite. The house, which covered 765,000 square feet, included 11 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, a home theater, gardens, and walking paths. The Kamal mansion was located at the end of a quiet, gated cul-de-sac. The $4 million price tag also included an equestrian stable, and they financed the home with a bank mortgage. It was in this mansion that the family lived when Ariana graduated from high school and enrolled in one of the most prestigious and expensive private art universities in Vermont. The annual tuition cost was $64,800, and in addition to this, her parents also paid separately for music lessons, which was her main passion. During her first year, Ariana quickly made friends, actively participated in study groups, and joined the university choir. She was admired not only for her voice but also for her ability to bring people together and work well in a team. Living in the dormitory allowed her true personality to shine through. Her friends described her as an amazing person. On one hand, she was highly responsible in her studies, but on the other, she was fun-loving, had a great sense of humor, and a passion for opera. In general, she was a bit quirky, but in the best possible way. Ariana dreamed of studying neuroscience after completing her main course of study. In December 2023, the family was preparing for happy times ahead. Ariana returned home for the holidays after her first semester, and her parents were excited to be together again for Christmas. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect family, one that many could only admire with envy. But everything changed in a single horrific moment. On December 28 at 7:24 a.m., the Dover police received a 911 call. The caller, identifying himself as Rakesh Kamal's brother, Man Kamal, reported that he had found 3 bodies in the mansion. For several days, Man had been trying to get in touch with the family, and when they didn't respond, he decided to drive to their home personally to check if everything was all right. What he discovered was so horrifying that he immediately called the police. When the officers arrived at the scene, they searched the house and found the bodies of Tina and Ariana. Both were lying dead in their beds. Rakesh was found on the floor next to his wife. All 3 were the only ones in the house at the time, and everything inside appeared calm, with no signs of a struggle or robbery. Initially, authorities did not confirm how the victims were killed, nor did they provide any information about a suspect or potential motives. The case sent shockwaves through the local community, as the area was known as one of the safest and wealthiest in the state. 2 days later, the county prosecutor described the incident as an act of domestic violence and offered condolences to the Kamal family. He asked everyone to keep them in their prayers. In his official statement, the prosecutor noted that conflicts in some families can intensify during the holiday season, but assured the public that this case posed no threat to other residents of the neighborhood, which had always been under police protection. The last recorded act of violence in the county had been in 2020. The police confirmed that there had been no previous reports of issues or domestic violence in the Kamal family, though the exact cause of death was still to be determined by medical examiners. It was revealed that a firearm was found at the crime scene near the father's body, but the police withheld further details. This crime left the entire community in shock. However, it turned out that there was never any real deal, and the money disappeared. It never occurred to him to question what the problem with the bank was, as Rakesh confidently promised that everything would be sorted out. Sandip admitted that he never wondered why these problems with the bank arose because he trusted in Rakesh's success. Tina's brother revealed that Rakesh had been hiding the family's true financial difficulties for years. He painted a picture of prosperity, making everyone believe in his success. Even during the eviction process, Tina was convinced they were on the verge of buying a $16 million castle on a lake in Tennessee. A real estate agent had already received bank statements confirming Rakesh's financial solvency, and Rakesh had even gone to the bank to get those statements. Tina completely trusted her husband and had already begun choosing furniture for their future home, unaware that Rakesh had already received an eviction notice from their current residence. For her and Ariana, it would have been a devastating shock to learn that instead of a castle in Tennessee, they were facing bankruptcy and the loss of all their property. Sandip also noted that the family held Rakesh in such high regard that it was hard for them to imagine anything other than success for him. In one instance, Tina's brother mentioned that he had even lent Rakesh a significant sum of money, supposedly to resolve the issue with the bank. However, he never questioned the true nature of the financial problems. The investigation soon revealed that the family's financial situation was far worse than anyone had imagined. Rakesh had accumulated massive debts, most of which were tied to failed ventures. The magnitude of the debt made it impossible for Rakesh to envision the life they were planning, let alone a future in Tennessee. Along with various investments and the mortgage, the situation reached a boiling point. Despite this, Rakesh continued to build the illusion of a successful life for his family, assuring Tina and Ariana that they were on the verge of moving into an even more luxurious home. Tina's relatives were deeply shocked by the events, especially Sandeep, who couldn't believe that the man he trusted and considered part of the family turned out to be not only a fraud, but also a murderer. It was utterly incredible to realize that Rakesh had been hiding his problems for so many years, problems that were not only financial, but also psychological. The tragedy forever changed the lives of everyone who knew the family, leaving many unanswered questions that would likely never be resolved. No one truly knew the extent of Rakesh's financial troubles, because he always portrayed himself as a successful man. Tina's brother admitted that he hadn't even been concerned when Rakesh prohibited discussing the legal matters with his sister. This act of secrecy didn't seem suspicious at the time, further contributing to the false facade Rakesh had carefully maintained for years. However, he deeply regretted not breaking the silence, believing that if Tina and the family had known the truth, they might have found a way out. He added that while knowing Tina and Ariana were asleep when Rakesh shot them doesn't offer much comfort, it at least provides some solace that they weren't aware of how bad things had gotten and passed peacefully. Former colleagues of Rakesh revealed that he had been fired from Harvard Business School at least 4 months before he bought the mansion. Despite this, Tina believed that he was still employed there. Soon after, the media uncovered that Rakesh had exaggerated many of his accomplishments. He claimed to have graduated from MIT's business school, but in reality he had only completed a few short courses and received certificates, not degrees. The same was true for Tina. Her claims about studying at Harvard were also unverified. The investigation continued, and in July 2024 it was revealed that 4 days before the tragedy, on December 24th, Tina allegedly sent a strange fax to her insurance company. She altered the terms of her $50,000 insurance policy. Initially, her husband was the sole beneficiary, with Ariana listed as a dependent child. However, in the latest version of the policy, both her husband and daughter were made primary beneficiaries, while Rakesh's brother, Manak, was designated as the secondary beneficiary. Since the tragedy, both families have been embroiled in legal disputes. Manak insisted that the insurance company should honor Tina's last wishes and pay him the money as the secondary beneficiary. However, Sandeep, who was in charge of managing Tina's estate, expressed doubts about the suspicious circumstances surrounding her death and the sudden changes made to the policy. He questioned whether the modifications to the policy were legitimate, considering the timing just days before the tragic events. He raised concerns about the legality of the changes, particularly given that they were made just days before the crime. Additionally, suspicions arose that the signature on the document might have been forged. Although it was claimed that Tina signed the document in the presence of a witness, this person had yet to be found. As of the conclusion of the investigation in September 2024, the dispute over the insurance payout between the relatives had still not been resolved. Media speculated that the families might either reach an agreement or take the matter to civil court, which could drag on for a long time. Now that all the details of this tragedy have come to light, it serves as a stark reminder of how easily external appearances of prosperity can conceal deep, personal struggles. Behind successful facades, secrets can sometimes be hidden, even from those closest to us. This story underscores the importance of speaking openly about difficulties, sharing problems, and not being afraid to seek help. Instead of withdrawing into oneself and hiding failures, there is always a way out, especially when there are people around who are willing to provide support. One should not fear admitting mistakes, because even in the darkest of situations there is always another path besides despair.